Alright guys, today I'm going to prepare another extremely simple recipe. I'm making chicken paprikash or paprikash csirke in Hungarian, and I'm going to serve it with cornmeal. Again, extremely simple to make and very similar to polenta. However, this is just going to be cooked in water. Extremely simple. And it's not how my family eats it. Traditionally, we eat it with spaetzle or nokedli, if you like. And my wife's family, they are from Transylvania. They normally eat it with cornmeal, so I'm gonna prepare it for her that way, like my mother-in-law does. Now for the chicken paprikash. Okay, what is chicken paprikash? Chicken paprikash is basically a chicken stew thickened with sour cream and flour. It's basically a chicken stew with added sour cream. The basic ingredients are onions, tomato, paprika. I'm going to add some celery as well for extra flavor, a bit of chili, my choice, garlic, and of course Hungarian paprika, very important. Although of course you can buy any type of paprika, but if you can, I highly recommend to buy Hungarian, because believe me, there is a difference in flavor. Yeah, but if you don't, it's okay, just buy any type of paprika that you can buy in the shop. I'm also going to use some caraway seeds. I would prefer ground caraway, but I've run out and I was too lazy to go to the Hungarian shop, so I just picked some caraway seeds from the supermarket. And I'm also going to add some marjoram. For me, marjoram and chicken is match made in heaven. I'll definitely use some Happy Chef. You know me, I like a bit of Happy Chef in my food, but not too much. And I'm going to use beef tallow today, but just use any type of oil of your choice. Okay, so let's start. Now I'm going to start with browning of the chicken, and I'm using chicken thigh, but you can use whole chicken in pieces or just whole chicken leg if that's your choice. I prefer to have thigh for this purpose, and I'm just going to season it with salt at this point. And if I would be in Hungary, I would use lard, so pork fat, and I've got lovely Paulaner today, a really nice German beer. Can't go wrong with it. Okay, as soon as this melts and heats up, I'm going to sear the meat to start with. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for the fat to come to heat, I'm just going to chop the caraway seeds. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna fry them skin side down. And meanwhile, I'm going to chop the onions and the pepper and the tomato for the stew base. So that's the first step done. Okie dokie. And then at this point I'm going to add some smoked lardons, so smoked bacon. This is optional. So but it adds a lot of flavor to it, of course. So I recommend to add some. And also I prefer to use the smoked variety. And then we have the Hungarian Trinity, onions, peppers and tomatoes with the extra celery. So that goes in at this point as well. Okay, while this is cooking, I'm going to start to cook the cornmeal as well, because that needs to rest a bit. And I'm not measuring things, as you know, but it's going to turn out just fine. Now, my mother-in-law, she's only using salt to season this. However, I'm going to season it with a vegetable stock cube to start with. At this point I'm going to add the caraway seeds and healthy amount of black pepper. And one whole chili. And also the garlic. Okay. Now I'm not chopping anything too fine, because once the dish is cooked, I'm going to take the chicken out and I'm going to blend the sauce, so it's going to be very smooth, very nice silky sauce. Okay, so now that the base is fried off, I'm going to add the chicken thighs. A bit of parsley. I might add some of it later as well. water, not too much. So as you can see, water is not actually covering the chicken. So that's fine. Go down to medium-high heat. At this point I'm going to add a bit of Happy Chef, not too much. Thing with this, I used to love it, then I stopped using it completely because I felt like oh, it has flavor enhancers and it's actually not good for you. And then recently, in the past 5 to 10 years, I started to use it again because I came to the conclusion that this using this, it has a stigma, or it used to have a stigma in Hungary, because people say you use this, you don't know how to cook. But in my opinion, this is basically, if you know already how to get the flavors out of your meal, this is just going to add to it. So this is not a shortcut. This is basically it's a vegetable seasoning with a bit of MSG, and that little MSG, if you don't add too much, that's going to take your simple stews and whatnot to a much different level, higher level. But just don't abuse it, don't put too much of it, because that's not gonna help. And then a bit of marjoram as well, quite a bit. What else? Paprika. Of course, let's add some paprika. And the reason I say Hungarian paprika is superior to whatever you can buy in the shop that comes from India or China. I think this one is from China. It's still paprika, don't get me wrong, but the one that you get from Hungary is just, it's on a different level as well. So if you can, try to find some. Okay, now, so this is gonna take about maybe 20 minutes to cook, not long at all. Water is boiling. We're gonna add the cornmeal to the water. And I chose this Polish product because it looks a bit more coarse, and my wife said that in Transylvania they use a bit more coarse cornmeal. So this will do for now. I might have to adjust it. It's that simple. And it's actually healthy as well. I'd like to add a bit more. And I'm also going to season this with black pepper. And you can see how the cornmeal is absorbing the water. And I'm also going to add a bit of parsley to this too. going to check on the chicken. Smells amazing, of course. Just going to turn them. Going to check the seasoning now. Very tasty. Okay, I'm going to make a slurry of flour. I'm using plain flour and sour cream. And that's going to thicken our sauce. And as you can see, it's quite thick already. It doesn't need too much thickening at all. I use maybe 2 heaped tablespoons and sour cream. And because I'm going to blend it after I add the sour cream, I'm not actually too worried about having lumps, because obviously I'm going to blend it. Just going to add a bit of the sauce first. And if you don't want to use flour, you can replace it with corn flour. If you want to make it gluten-free, no problem. But I find with these traditional recipes, it's the best way is to follow the traditional way of cooking it, unless you make a fusion, which I do quite a lot. But sometimes just to go with the traditional way is the best way. Okay, this is done. So I've added the chicken back to the pan. We are going medium heat and just finish the cooking, and you see we have a very nice smooth sauce. Alright guys, so chicken is done. You can see the polenta or puliska is cooked and is much thicker now. Nice. And I haven't measured it, but you can see you don't actually need to add too much because it thickens up quite a bit. And it's very tasty. It's a great alternative for potatoes or rice, and I don't think people eat it as much as they used to. It's kind of a shame, but anyway. Okay, then we have, of course, the paprikash. Beautiful chicken paprikash. It's going to be very tasty. Okay. Just going to add one piece for now. We can always take more if you like. And you can see the sauce or gravy, if you like, is beautiful. Then we are adding a bit of extra sour cream. Woohoo! And a bit of chili. And a bit of parsley. Alright guys, so this is my chicken paprikash with polenta or puliska, as we say in Hungary. Extremely simple to make, extremely flavorful. I highly recommend to try it, and I hope you inspired you. And guys, thank you so much for watching. A bit more black pepper. I shall be back with more simple recipes. Again, thanks for watching.